Hi there. So what I've cunningly done to disguise my bad painting, I've put this piece of black tape across here. So hopefully with the laminate on there as well, that will go off alright. So we're all ready now to do the laminating process. And however, we need to just first do one little preparation job, and that is to spray some more 3M90 on top of the paint that we've just painted. Alright, so we're just going to give the whole plane a complete covering of 3M90, and then we're going to let that go off for about half an hour. Okay, so now what you'll see is that the colour that you've put down will go a little bit grey or duller, and that's normal. There's nothing really we can do about that. We have to put this coat down of 3M90 so that the laminate sticks beautifully to the mesh and the EPP and the paint. There's just a whole lot will fuse together as we heat it on there with the iron. And we need to give it about half an hour to set, or to tack off, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll just do that, fast forward as I do, and I'll be back with you pretty soon. Pay particular attention to things like the leading edges, the trailing edges, so that we get a good bond there. And the area where we just cut out previously for this for the prop housing area, we want to be putting some 3M90 down there as well. I'll let that go off for a few minutes and be back with you. Okay, so the other side, we're just going to spray over everything here. The servos, the tape, the paint, the hatches, everything gets a good coat of 3M90. So the 3M90 is tacked off, and I've got the first piece of laminate, and we've just laid it over the top on the underneath of the wing, and I've got the iron, and this is set on heat silk. So the plan is we're going to just cover the whole wing on all top and bottom, left and right, with the laminate, and just tack it on there, and then we can then shrink it and do the final stage. Alright, so the plan is to just get a bit of it, and on one edge I'm going to overlap it here by, I don't know what, about 2 inches, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to tack it down, and you can see immediately. We zoom in a bit there. Well, you can see here that we've got just where the 3M90 or the laminate has adhered to everything else, it's just gone black, and you can see as I apply the heat, it goes black. Procedure is to tack it in some key parts, key areas, like the wing root there, and I'll just reset again. Okay, you can see that you can pull on it. So what we want to do is we tack it off. We've tacked it off all the way down there now, and then we can pull on it. I'm lifting it up there so that it doesn't already glue, and then I can pull it tight, and then I can tack it off here. You can see where it's gone black again there. And then the thing is just keep going round the whole thing, tacking it off. Alright, so that's it. Initially tacked down there, and you can see we have got some ripples in there, but that's fine. Once the heat is applied, a hotter heat is applied to the 3M the laminate, it will shrink it in. Okay, so I'm just going to go, now that it's all tacked on, I'm going to go around the whole perimeter of the wing and tack it all the way round. At the moment, don't do anything here. We're just going to tack it around the perimeter. That's already done there. Just do a bit here. Okay. What we're going to do is the bottom or the top surface of the top surface laminate is going to come up and it's going to wrap around, and then it's going to end about here. So what we're going to do is we want to trim it up so that this is quite flush to the leading edge. So I'm just going across the leading edge like this, just to cut off the surplus laminate. You could wrap it a little bit over, that'd be fine, but because I'm going to wrap over the top surface, I'm just going to cut it quite flush. Now on the tips here, what we're going to have is our Corex tip is just going to go straight onto the side, so that can also be cut flush. Okay, now on the trailing edge here, what I try and do is I try and cut it sort of in the middle of that flat area where sort of no man's land. So that way then when the trailing edge one, the leading edge one comes up, you can sort of skim it off here, and then you've got an overlap as well. I'm just going to cut it there in that corner, and then I can then fold the laminate in that way. Okay, so just before I carry on, what we've got here is a piece of the laminate. One side of it is nice and shiny, and the other side is quite dull. You'll see it blatantly, and it's the shiny side that we want up. So the shiny side is up and outwards. Okay, and the dull piece is actually the adhesive that gets coated onto the laminate. Okay, so I'll just trim this up. You can clean the iron by just putting it on a piece of cloth and cleaning it off. So there's no water in this iron, it's just completely dry, has been dry for ages. So yeah, don't use any water with your iron. not to cut through the aerial. Actually, I think what I'm going to do on this section is bleed it over all the way round. It's just because when I did the other side, because it was sort of half and half, I was getting some 390 on the iron. I think with this way, if I do it in one go, that won't happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I've got one piece of laminate that stretches all the way from the tip here past over the centre hatch and beyond by about 2 inches. So pull it as far forward as much as you can that way, but making sure you can cover over the nose as well. And what I'm going to do is this piece of laminate is then going to come all the way out to here, and then the next piece of laminate on this side of the wing, hold on, and then once this is tacked on, the second piece of laminate to cover the rest of the wing is then going to stop here. So we'll have the join here, and that way we're not putting 2 pieces of laminate over the centre pod section of the hatch, and because laminate to laminate sticks okay, but it doesn't stick as anywhere near as good as laminate to the EPP and 3M90. So that's how to do that section. Like I said earlier, we're gonna roll this round by about 2 inches at the front. So get to a point and then start just get around that and just start cutting it straight, but well, that's about 1 inch actually. Give yourself 1 inch or so there, and then go up there. So that can then roll round, and then we've got a join there, you see, and that's perfect. It's all trimmed up. It's stuck down in the overlaps have been stuck down as well. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our iron up to the wall setting, and we're going to now just carefully run over the whole iron, the whole wing, hovering above, and you'll see it just start to shrink it down a bit. I'm not applying any weight. All I'm doing is just trying to shrink it down the tiniest amount, so that it pulls it tight a little bit, and then once we've got it a bit more tighter, we can then iron it down again. And you can feel as well that sort of heat. That's nice and warm. Okay, so if we give it a little bit more, this is just above wool, but not quite to cotton yet. Now what's going to happen is, if we get it too hot, we'll melt the EPP. That is the only risk that we'll face. So just be aware that that's the. And basically, you just iron over the wing, just keeping an eye on the temperature of what you're getting it to. Okay. And what you'll find as well is, once we've done this one all over the whole thing, we can give it a little bit more temperature and then go over it again. Alright guys, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, when we'll be the last video next time we're finishing off. Thanks, bye.